In this video, I'm going to be giving you my top tips on how to skip the queue at Disneyland Paris. On the Disneyland Paris app, there are live updates on queue times and wait times for the different rides within the parks. Check this out and do a little bit of research before when you're looking to go, or maybe a year in advance. So if you're planning to go next June, start looking this June at what the queue times are like, and it will give you a rough gauge on how long each queue is going to be. And then if it is too long for you, then you know to avoid that certain point in the year and maybe book at a quieter time. So it's going to give you a rough idea of when is the best time to go when the queues are slightly shorter. The best time to try and get on or see an attraction that you want to really do in the park when the queues are at the lowest is when the crowds are at the lowest. So that is highly recommended first thing in the morning. If you are able to use magic hour, so you are staying on site, definitely make use of that 1 hour before the main crowds are allowed in, or get there as early as you can so you can access the park as magic hour is finishing, and before a load of people get into the parks, the crowds are going to be a lot less and the queues a lot shorter. But it is a really early start. If you have any other tips on how to beat the queues at Disneyland Paris, please drop them in the comments below. I'd love to hear them and maybe use them myself as well. And while you're there, please consider subscribing. As I mentioned previously, use the extra magic hour if you are staying on site at Disneyland Paris or you are an annual pass holder. Certain annual passes will allow you into the park an hour before the general crowds are allowed into the park. Within that hour, there are literally no wait times apart from Crush's Coaster, which always just seems to be a mad wait time. But if you don't mind waiting at a shorter time for Crush's Coaster, go for it. But majority of the rides when we have used the magic hour are between 5 and 10 minutes, which is unheard of during the day at all. So make the most of it. Also, if you're looking to meet a character, we waited less than 5 minutes to meet Stitch, which is amazing when his queue snakes for quite a while. So if you want that slightly longer interaction, we found, and the queue to be a lot shorter, make the most of that extra magic hour. You are able to buy a fast pass for each ride if you want to. There are different prices per ride, and those prices do fluctuate during the day or time of year when you're going. But if you are really desperate to get on a ride while you're there, you don't have access to the extra magic hour. So for example, Crush's Coaster, you really want to get on it, that queue always has astronomically long queue wait times. So you are able to buy a fast pass for yourself and whoever you're in the group with to go onto that ride. Just be aware it can add up if you are going on more than one ride and want to use that service. The option is there if you want to buy your way onto the ride and skip the really long queue for a particular ride. Avoid weekends. They are so busy. When we book to go, we always book between a Monday and a Friday, and we do notice that Friday does get quite a lot more busier than Monday to Thursday, but Saturdays and Sundays are really busy, so just avoid them if you can. Your queues are going to be a lot shorter in the week. Take advantage of the last hour within the park. Majority of the wait times are gonna just disappear and be really small. A lot of the crowd at Disneyland Paris are going to be waiting to watch the Disney Illuminations or Disney Dreams, which will be from next month. So while everyone is waiting to watch the fireworks, no one's gonna be on the rides. And it's a really good experience to ride some of the rides, so Big Thunder Mountain in the dark. It's a completely different experience, and potentially while you're on the ride, you may see the fireworks going off, which again adds another layer of magic to the ride for you. Just note that Fantasyland does close at a certain point dependent on what time the fireworks are going to be taking place. So again, what time of the year, because they have to wait for it to go dark. But Fantasyland does close an hour prior to the fireworks bit going off. So just be aware of that, because that land will be closed, and if there is a ride that you want to do, just bring the time forward a little bit that you want to do it. Make use of the single rider line. If you were traveling in a couple and you don't mind riding a ride separately, this will shave off a load of time off your wait times. The single rider line tends to be way less than half of what the main queue would be, and you're gonna get on a ride a lot quicker as long as you don't mind riding separately, or you may happen to fall lucky and be able to sit next to each other. Or if you're traveling as a family and there's a particular ride that one of you wants to go on while the other one waits with your children, use the single rider line and you'll be on the ride and off again in no time. ride the rides at lunchtime. This is a tip that I found really useful when we went back in May last year, and we're going to use it again when we go this year, which is really soon. So ride the rides at lunchtime. Everyone is just concentrating on getting the meal that they want, or eating, or just having a bit of a relax, or even leaving the park for a couple of hours just to give your legs and feet and just relax for a little bit. So lunchtime again is just a really small window, but a really good time if you want to hop on a couple of rides. I hope you found this video useful on how to beat the queues as much as possible at Disneyland Paris. If you are visiting Disneyland Paris for the first time, I have my top 20 tips videos, part 1 and part 2. You should go and check them out. And I'll see you again soon.